Hello. Hello, everybody. I'd just like to welcome Gareth Hume. He's going to be chatting to us today about business protection insurance and why it's so important. So yeah, carry on, Gareth. Thank you for being with us today.
Excellent, Melissa. Thanks for having me. Yes, morning, everybody. Yes, so my name is Gareth Hume, and today we're going to be talking about business protection. And more importantly, for a lot of people, why are you not covered and what are your options? So, as I say, my name is Gareth Hume. I'm the co-founder of Interlife. We're a specialist mortgage and protection advisory firm. Just a little bit about me. I started advising in 2004. You can hear from my accent that I'm South African. It's similar to a few of the other people here at Sale. But I've been in the UK financial services since 2008. I'm also, besides doing a lot of protection advice, I'm also just a passionate investor myself, and I've bought a lot of off-plan, developed HMOs, and have done a lot of numerous refurb projects. So our business as a whole, Interlife, we are a specialist mortgage and protection firm, but we are here today to talk about business protection. What is it, why you need it, and how to get it. All right, so just building a business protection plan is quite simple, and there's three steps that we look at doing. All right, so step one is determining the business need. Step two, choosing the benefits, and step three is choosing the right insurer and broker. So there are numerous different types of business protection that we're here to talk about today, and we're going to go through the reasons why you should have those covers in place. So the four main things are key person cover, shareholder protection, loan protection, and relevant life plan. And we're just going to touch on what those are. So key person cover is designed to protect business when a key person dies or becomes incapacitated. Now, for many of you, if you're just a one-man band, that's effectively yourself that you're looking to protect. Whereas key person cover, if there's a few people within the business and you've got someone that's perhaps a salesperson that generates most of the sales, a finance director that the business relies on, or a marketing genius that generates a lot of the leads, those could become a key person to your business. And what we're trying to protect under key person cover is if something happened to that person, if they were unable to work because they've either passed away or they've had a serious illness, what would the impact be to the business and how to protect that loss of income. So the key person cover will generally either be a life or critical illness policy or both, and it'll pay out in the event something happens through to them. Okay, and now the money that you get for the protection of key person cover can be used either to help cover the loss of profits, could be cost of recruiting or training someone new. So if you've got a key person or numerous key people in the business, it's something very important to protect, because you've got to think about it. Well, how would that impact you and your business if something happened to one of them? So that's one of the first things that we look at a key person cover. And like I said, it can be you, the business owner yourself, that we might need to protect. Second is something called shareholder protection. And what shareholder protection does is just ensures that the surviving shareholders have the funds to purchase shares from the director or his family. And shareholder protection can be, once again, life and critical illness cover. And it's to protect the loss of a co-owner. So if you're an individual shareholder, there is no real need for that. But a lot of businesses, you might go into business with a family member or a business partner, and they don't put shareholder protection in place. And we've had many times clients come to us and say, oh, how do we do this? And it's quite late in the stage because something is going wrong with their health and they're trying to get something in place. So generally speaking, when you set up a business, you should have a conversation with your other shareholders about putting the right protection in place to protect what happens. It's also very important for you to understand and write down what happens in the event that someone passes away. A lot of people don't do anything and they leave it up to the Articles of Association. I know the team at Sale do ask people what's going to happen if in the event of someone dies. So it's very important at the earliest to actually get set up and actually understand what happens to that business. And you can protect it in a number of ways. And there's a lot of things we can do with cross-option agreements and trust to ensure that the money goes to where it needs to be. But effectively, what the shareholder protection does is, if you and I are in business together, I pass away, it gives you the money to buy out the shares from my family. And that's effectively what it does. It's very plain, very simple. It's very clear what it does as well. You can also have it in place that if someone is incapacitated and they have a critical illness claim, that kicks in and pays out and allows you to buy out their remaining shares. So it's vitally important. If you have a business partner and you have not had a conversation together yet about what happens to the business if anything happens to either one of you, I suggest you have that conversation with each other sooner rather than later. And I can speak from experience that my business partner, Danny, who Interlife, and he'll let me share this information with you. He recently didn't feel great. I went to the doctor on a Tuesday. On a Friday morning, he was having angioplasty surgery. His arteries were 99% blocked. Now, luckily for us, we do have business protection in place, but he was a heart attack waiting to happen. Now, we have the right level of cover in place to ensure that the business can continue and survive, because we've got a number of colleagues and staff members that we also need to ensure that we have money available for to carry on those costs. But we had the right shareholder protection in place. And just from the fact that this was only in late June, early July, it was so recent for us as a business. Without the cover, I would have been really worried should something happen, because I would have had to have found the money to have bought him out. But because we have the cover in place, if something happened to him, which thankfully nothing did, we had the right policies in place and the right level of insurance that it would have allowed me to buy out his wife the remaining shares of the business. So if you don't think it's going to happen to you, like I said, it almost happened to us just a number of weeks ago. The third thing that we look at is something called loan protection. And that's you as a business. If you've got any loans at the business, it's to protect the debts of the business. So depending what type of business that you have, you might have loans. And what you want to do is if something happens to you or to one of your business partners, you want to ensure that those loans are repaid. So loan protection is very simple, what we do. And then the last thing, which might apply to a lot of people here, is something called a relevant life plan. So what this is effectively, it's a life policy, and it's a tax-efficient life cover useful to SMEs to provide a level of cover to the employees of the business. And we're going to touch on the relevant life plan a little bit more right now. So as I said, the benefit of this is that it's tax efficient for the business, as it's tax deductible business expense with no NI on it. This is a great employee benefit. Now, just to give you an idea, if it's just a pure life policy up until age 75, and the way we get the tax treatment on this is that the government says you have to have it as a retirement inducing event. And last time I checked, life cover was a retirement inducing event. And it only goes up to age 75, because in the eyes of the HMRC, you should be retired by age 75. But it's just a great benefit. I myself have relevant life plan. I am a business owner, and I'm technically an employee of that business, which gives me the right to have a relevant life plan. The premium is exactly the same as if it was my personal, but instead of me having to draw it out, pay dividend tax, then corporation tax, etc., to pay for the premium, it goes through to the company that's paying for it. So I'm actually saving a lot of money each month by having the policy as a relevant life. So if you're a business owner and you're looking for life cover or looking at restructuring your life cover, relevant life plan is a fantastic benefit for you. So the two types of benefits that we look to cover, as mentioned, is life cover and serious illness cover. So life cover, generally, it's a minimum of £10,000 minimum cover, and you can have the benefit structure either as a level, indexed, or decreasing term. So depending on what we're looking to protect, will generally determine what this benefit structure is. If it is a loan that's an interest-only loan, perhaps it might be a level cover. If it is a loan that we're protecting which reducing, we'd look at a decreasing term. Generally speaking, if we're looking at shareholder protection, we'd normally put an index policy in place. What that means is that the benefit increases every year, but so does the premium. And most people go into business to increase the value of their business over the long term. And by having a index policy, it allows that to increase. For business protection, most of the cover is generally on a term base. A lot of people will have a retirement age or an exit age of the business, and they'll generally cover up to a certain point. And we can look at the premium structure as a guaranteed or reviewable. Reviewable is where the premium can change. Guaranteed is where it's a fixed premium. Next is serious illness cover. Now, as I said, life cover is one. It's very simple. What has to happen to get a payout? You have to die and it pays out. Very simple, very clear. Critical illness cover is slightly different, and what it covers you if you have a serious illness cover. A serious illness, I should say, and is paid out based on the severity of that illness. Now, serious illness cover has changed a lot over the years. In the 1980s, 1 in 4 people survive cancer. These days, 2 in 4 survive cancer. So whereas in the early days, it used to be called something called dread disease cover. You had a condition, it generally meant that you died. These days, a lot more people are surviving serious illnesses. But there's still that impact to the business because you could be off for a long time. You might not be able to return in the same capacity that you did previously. So we're living longer but unhealthier lives. So when we have a look at what's going to be best for you, we always have a look at, is it life cover, is it life and serious illness cover, or is it just serious illness cover? And just to talk about serious illness, these days we are more likely to have secondary illnesses. So 1 in 5 cancers are recurrences. Once again, I'm going to talk from personal experience. My father-in-law sadly passed away last year, but he had cancer. It came a number of years ago, it went away, and sadly it came back and was terminal. And for some insurers, they will pay out multiple times. And in his case, he would have had it. It was a different country, speaks a different language, and he was quite old by the time I met him and had numerous health conditions. But had he have had cover early, he would have had a multiple payout. Then the last step of it is actually probably one of the most important. It's choosing the right insurer and, more importantly, choosing the right brokerage. So at Interlife, we're a whole of market brokerage, which means we can deal with all insurers in the market. And what we do is we advise on the correct level of cover for you and your business. And we look at the best insurer based on your business needs. We also review your cover to ensure that you have the right level of cover at the right time, because you go, as mentioned earlier, you are growing into business. You want to grow your business. Your policies need to grow with you. And if you don't have the right broker, if you're leaving this up to yourself to deal with, you might not stay ahead of that. And what you don't want to do is be in a position where a claim needs to be made and you don't have the right cover in place. So it's important to get it right. Find the right partner that partners with your business, because often the cheapest premium can become the most expensive when you go to claim and it's not the right level of cover or it doesn't pay out. So with working with a broker like ourselves at Interlife, we're going to deal with you with the long term. We're here for the relationship. We're here to make sure you got the right level of cover. We're going to understand what your business needs are, what's important to you as a business, what's important for you to protect, and also what is the long-term future of the business. So we're going to go through all of that with you. We want to understand your business so that we can come back to find the right solution for you and your business. So I've just kept it short and sweet for today, just to explain the key things about business protection, why you need it. And if you don't have it, or if you haven't reviewed your cover for a number of years, please reach out through to us. Melissa's going to share my contact details with you, but if anyone have any questions, please feel free to contact me and we can go through it and set up a meeting with you to see what your needs are and how best we can help you. So that's the presentation today. Melissa, do we have any questions that anyone has?
Not that I can see at the moment, but if anyone's got one, I see there might be, no, just saying fantastic insights. Thanks, Gareth. Yeah, I don't see any other questions, but yeah, if anyone wants to pop some questions through and I can send them on to you and put you in touch, then that'd be great. But that was really great. Thanks, Gareth. Very interesting.
Amazing. And Melissa, you say you'll share my details with everyone, but if anyone's got any questions, please get in touch. We're happy to help and talk you through what's best for you. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Gareth. Bye-bye, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye.